RuneScape's early game rebalance collapsed high-level AFK thieving time to about 1 minute before Jagex adjusted it days later into the 4 to 6 minute range. The numbers improved, but the bigger question remains, is this the new normal for AFK skilling? And I think when you look at, just how bad this was this week, you see, base chance of 75, fine. Increases by 1% for every level above the unlock. Okay. You start with a 10 level boost. Okay. And then after those 10 successes, you drop by 1% per additional pickpocket until you fail or swap targets. And you don't know what that
as soon as you're below 100%, it's a gamble.
Bang. Yeah.
Yeah. And
you're caught. You're caught as soon as you're 99%. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I have ever not been caught. I have never gone below 95%. Granted, I've only done probably an hour or so, but yeah, I think 95% was the lowest I got to before I got caught and had to click again.
Yeah, and you look at what this led to, combined with that crystal mask butchering that we were talking about, reduced from 25 to 15, and then under light form from 50 to 30, and then you also look into things like the Traherne exoskeleton being adapted, feather-fingered necklaces, shock absorbers, the cheeky monkey. What this has led to.
Oh, they broke my poor monkey.
When I was level 119 with the master camo outfit, the mushroom bag with Oblivious on that, and crystal mask at the Wizard Tower Master Mages, which are a 106 creature. When I logged in this week, I was at 1 minute and 6 seconds of
with
AFK.
or without sticky fingers.
Oh, just wait. I had a light form, and that only I had a light form, and that only went up to 115.
That's a whole other thing, but
then
okay.
I removed sticky fingers without light form.
Okay.
1 minute 42 goes up to 150 with light form.
Okay.
But
I mean, that's not great.
Personally, I don't hate that number.
No,
but
it's...
But think about... But look at what goes behind all that. Like, the one thing we learned in leagues is, the XP, the levels, it only goes so far. Like that, the skeleton, the crystal mask, all this stuff, it's locked behind such a pain of an ass mountain of content that you should be rewarded. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I see it, but
at the same time, pickpocketing was always a active method, as were stalls. And I guess it's and this is what we'll get to in a little bit, is the expectation that every skill have an AFK
probably
way of training.
But you say, but since when, Shane? Because at this point, Priff comes in halfway.
It started
a
with
little
Priff.
more than half, right? Which is what, 2015? That's 10 years ago.
14.
Like 14.
Yeah.
But exactly.
You've helped his
14
argument.
years ago. So
No. I mean, it started in Priff came in 2014.
Oh, 2014.
Yeah, so almost 12 years ago.
12 years ago. Like, it's almost as old. It's been here almost as long as it hasn't been. So it's hard to. I think it's fine because even though it was extended AFK, it was the only extended AFK like that in the game, and the only way you got to it was a mountain of stuff. What really changed was when they brought it in and applied it across the world, which, hey, I didn't have a problem with that either. But for you guys that wanted that slowdown, this is probably where the problem came in.
Well, I wouldn't
changed the Priff identity.
I wouldn't say that it was so much about wanting a slowdown. To me, it was about finding a way for thieving to be a good skilling moneymaker.
So for you needed that other leg of the. Okay.
Bring out the triangles.
Yeah.
If you
bring out
remember,
the triangles.
When they first released Griff, with the thieving there. The money making there was incredible for that those first couple of months, and they sort of drew it back. It was still a decent money maker, but as you said, the amount of content and quests that you had to do to get there, that is a reward for doing all those quests.
And that was my point coming into this week, is that should
That's fair.
AFK thieving be novel to Prif like it was initially designed, or, and this is the big or does thieving take cues from other modern skill training methods like fishing, woodcutting, mining, archaeology? Does it take cues from those and then have a sliding rubric of how much AFK you can do, and somehow have that implement how much loot or XP you get from pickpocketing?
I think to your to your point about, like, does every skill need an AFK? I think we've leaned more that way in our modern game, and that's a fine. If that's what it is, that's fine. I think if pickpocketing has become the AFK thing, that's okay. But to the point of the blogs we got later in the week, that means that something has to give. It can't be a full triangle where it's the best AFK tied with like the best XP, tied with like the best
money,
loot.
But
And if if pickpocketing specifically is to be the best AFK, then the other parts of thieving and it need to pick up the slack in the money making. Because I think
heist, stalls, chests.
Heist
exactly.
to the top. Yes, stalls and chests I think is the one that we've been missing in this conversation, where they did with the 120 thieving update put like things that were supposed to be mid activity, but they are significantly worse than pickpocketing in the XP and loot range, where if they're to be more active, they should probably be on the better side. So that way there is that middle ground that we've kind of gotten lost with that we kind of had early this week, that we've totally just, it's either full AFK and kind of worse loot, some methods that don't matter, and then there's heists, which are slightly better profit, but they're way more active.
Right.
We're missing the middle.
Exactly. Okay. I mean, AFK is that type of thing. Yeah, you're getting that. You're doing it just because you want to get a bit of XP while you're doing something else. You don't want to have to be concentrating.
Never underestimate what people AFK.
But,
yeah,
that's it. But you shouldn't. It shouldn't be best money makers, and it shouldn't be the top XP earner.
Right.
It should be
because we were looking at 1.4 mil an hour. I just want to get that 1.4 ish to 1.6.
Okay.
XP
out there.
Then that kind of brings up then what is the most active play, because you guys didn't like safe cracking either, right? Like that was too good, and so I mean, and that was
no we like safe. So, I don't think we had a problem with safe cracking. I think the XP was a little overboard, but exactly right.
It goes hard.
You were doing that. You were doing that for pilfer points, and you get the occasional rare one you could trade in for a few.
But at the same time, that only went to 99.
It was,
but in the context of a 120
XP
skill now, it makes sense. I think.
Yeah, and that's right. XP heavy, money low.
But money low, and it's skilling. Money low, no matter what. Like
no.
You're never going to make a lot of money. So like to me, the whole money
not
thing
PPM
is
money, no.
It's just not.
No, well, yeah, but again, risk versus reward, and I mean,
there's no risk in PVM anymore either.
True. Well, there is for me. I mean, I'm talking the average player. I'm not talking your high end players. I still can't do Nakatra by myself. I mean, God Wars 2, Iraq. I mean, I die at Araxor probably 5% of the time I go there. Once every 20 kills, I'll probably die. But it is a pain in the ass, and you are concentrating on the screen. High should be a top money maker because you are concentrating on the screen. Big Game Hunter should be a good money maker because you're concentrating on the screen. That's where your money side of things should be coming in, when you're concentrating, focusing on the game. Yes, I know there are people who can do their builds and setups and switches and can do all that and sort of half AFK top level bosses and such, but that's 2% of the
But here's the
population.
clincher, folks. They
Do some
fixed the
time.
AFK this week.
They made it, yes, more amenable.
They made it to something that the Reddit was actually okay with. But there is a
And I think
there
that
is
was
I think
deliberate-
overcorrected, but
okay.
No,
There is a profitability balance incoming at some point too.
Yeah, but okay, guys, they fixed the AFK, yes. But what they did is they grabbed somebody by the shirt after they punched them in the face to hold them up, and they've got their hand behind their back, and they're waiting till next week because next week they're going to punch you 70% of the time, though. It won't be as bad as last week, just 70%.
but that's it. And I think this was a very smart tool that they've done, a very smart method that they've used this week, where they dropped a doozy on Monday, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Come Thursday, hey, we're dropping in these cold fixes. Everyone's happy, and I think this is
And they're
pretty
coming
much
back with
perfect
the
and where
one
it
two
should have
though.
been.
Like,
But
it,
yeah,
it
that's
ain't
right.
done. So
But
they're
yeah,
coming back
someone
Let
with
me
the
go
like
right
you-
into
man.
Someone
let
like
me go,
yourself still
since
isn't
you
happy,
mentioned the cold
but-
fix, let me go into the Thursday numbers on this.
Yep.
Now those same master mages, I got 120 by that point, so add an additional level to it. Fine. The master camo outfit, the mushroom bag, oblivious, and crystal mask there. You'll note there's no light form involved in this. 10 minutes, 12 seconds. So my crystal mask ended, and then I went for another 5 minutes and 12 seconds on top of that.
yeesh. Oh, you didn't even renew.
No. If I would have renewed, I would have been able to continue for
Which is
perpetuity.
perfect. Because you're still having to go in that.
That's like
but
clicking.
you've-
That's like
you've
renewing your
earned that
strength.
crystal
right?
mask.
Like,
I mean, these are
yeah.
high level quest rewards that should give you tangible rewards, and this is a tangible reward that helps you out. So
Then
I
if
have no issue with that.